You know, some of the world's greatest thinkers and innovators, they don't just think outside the box. They kind of take the box, they smash it to bits, and they build something totally new from the pieces. Today, we're diving into the mental model they use to do it. It's called first principles thinking. It's a tool for seeing problems not just for what they are, but for what they're fundamentally made of. Okay, let's get into it. And when you talk about this idea today, one name probably comes to mind: Elon Musk. He's really the modern champion of this approach. And for him, this isn't some trick he learned in business school. Nope. He sees it as a fundamental part of reality, something he picked up from studying physics. It's all about ignoring the noise, the how it's always been done stuff, and getting down to what is absolutely, provably true. So, what is it that makes this way of thinking a secret weapon? Well, it's the ability to see a path forward that literally no one else can see. And here's where it gets really cool. When Musk looked at the space industry, everybody was just reasoning by analogy. They'd say, well, rockets are crazy expensive because they've always been crazy expensive. It's a total dead end, right? But Musk asked a totally different kind of question, a first principles question. He asked, okay, forget the price tag, what are rockets actually made of? He looked right past the finished product and down to its core ingredients: aluminum alloys, titanium, copper, carbon fiber. And the answer he found was just staggering. When he actually priced out all those raw materials, he discovered they've made up only 2% of a rocket's typical cost. Just think about that for a second. That means a whopping 98% of the cost wasn't the stuff at all. It was just the process, the manufacturing, the assembly, all the red tape. By seeing that, he didn't just find a way to make rockets a little cheaper. He saw how to completely shatter the economics of an entire industry. That right there is the power of this kind of thinking. That SpaceX example is amazing, but it's not magic. It's the result of a very specific method. So let's break down what thinking from the ground up really actually means. At its heart, this is basically an act of intellectual demolition. Seriously, you find a big, complicated problem, and you just start taking it apart, piece by piece. And you keep going and going until you hit bedrock, until you're left with only the absolute, undeniable truths of the situation. It's only then, when you're standing on that solid foundation of fact, that you even begin to build your solution back up. So here's the key thing to understand. Most of us, most of the time, we reason by analogy. We look at what other people have done, our competitors, our friends, whoever, and we just try to make small improvements. And hey, it's faster, it's definitely safer, and it's how you get a slightly better version of what already exists. But first principles thinking, that's for breakthroughs. You're not just giving the old house a new coat of paint. You're asking if a house is even the right thing to build in the first place. Now, while Elon Musk might have put this idea on the map for our generation, he is standing on the shoulders of some serious giants. This way of thinking has a deep philosophical history that goes back thousands of years. This journey just shows you how timeless the idea is. It all started way back with Aristotle, trying to figure out what the very basis of knowledge is. Then it got supercharged by Descartes, who used it to find absolute certainty. And now it's being used to launch rockets into orbit. We're talking different eras, different problems, but the exact same fundamental tool. For Aristotle, a first principle was the ultimate source of truth. It wasn't just an opinion or a good guess. It was a core axiom, something you couldn't break down any further. He believed that real knowledge wasn't about, memorizing a bunch of facts. It was about building your argument up from these unshakable starting points. Okay, fast forward a few centuries and you get René Descartes. He ran this wild thought experiment. He decided to doubt everything he could possibly doubt: his senses, his memories, the world around him, just to see if anything was left. And he found one thing he just couldn't doubt: the fact that he was the one doing all the doubting. I think, therefore I am isn't just some clever catchphrase. It was his first principle. It was the one solid spot in the entire universe from which he could start to rebuild everything he knew. Okay, history lesson is officially over. The real value of this whole thing isn't just knowing its backstory, it's actually using it. So how can you take this powerful tool and apply it in your own life and work? It really boils down to a three-part process. Step 1 is all about awareness. You have to actually see the assumptions you're making, the ones you don't even know you have. Step 2? That one takes some courage. You have to be willing to break things all the way down to their raw, sometimes uncomfortable truths. And then step 3, that's where the magic happens. That's the creative part. With those fundamental truths as your new building blocks, you're totally free to build something new, something better, right from the ground up. So think about your own life, your career. Are you chasing a goal because you genuinely want it, or because it's just what everyone expects of you? Or your health. Are you jumping on the latest fad diet, or have you ever stopped to ask, what does my body fundamentally need to be healthy? See, this isn't just for solving big tech problems. It's about designing a life that's based on your core principles, not somebody else's blueprint. And in a professional setting? Oh, this is the engine of real innovation. Instead of just trying to add more features to a product, ask, what is the one single essential problem this thing must solve? Instead of just copying a competitor's strategy, ask, what are the unchangeable laws of our market? This is how you stop just playing the game and start creating a whole new one. And that's really the whole point here. Reasoning by analogy, that gets you a faster horse. It's useful, it's how we make things a little bit better over time, but reasoning from first principles, that's how you invent the automobile. The goal isn't to play the existing game better, it's to change the game completely.
So, I'll just leave you with this question. What's one rule you follow? One assumption you carry around? One that's just the way it's done thing in your life or your work that you've never really truly challenged? That's your starting point. Go find it.